Hello, everyone. My name is Blaine Pearson, and I am a graduate instructor in Texas Tech's Personal Financial Planning program. In this video, we're going to look at the difference between APR and APY and how to calculate that difference using our time value of money calculator. When looking at the differences between APR and APY, there are three things about each one of these that I really want you to know. The first thing is simply the definition. APR is an acronym that stands for annual percentage rate. APY is annual percentage yield. The second thing that I really want you to know is they're kind of pseudonyms. What else do they go by? They're also known as names. And for the APR, that will be the nominal rate. For APY, that is the effective rate. And we will touch on why they have these two differences in names. And lastly, what does this last R and Y come down to? When it comes down to brass tacks, APR, the compounding, right? So the percentage rate, the compounding is user issued or determined, where the APY annualizes compounding. So the annual percentage yield shows the compounding on an annualized basis, where the APR, the compounding period, is subject to whatever the issuer defines, which is why it's called the nominal rate. And when we annualize that compounding rate, we get this effective rate. Let's take a look at how those concepts apply. Max has a credit card that charges him 5%, and that 5% is APR, or annual percentage rate or nominal rate. You find that the APR is compounded quarterly. What is his annual percentage yield? So we know his APR, or his nominal rate, is 5%. We also know that his compounding frequency is quarterly, which is 4. We can use our Texas Instrument calculator to solve this problem. By hitting second and then the number 2, which will activate the iConvert function, we can pop in our nominal rate, or 5%, select enter, scroll down, and we're solving for the effective rate, so we'll scroll down one more time and enter the compounding frequency, which is 4, enter. We'll scroll back up and simply hit the compute button, and it'll tell us what the effective or annualized rate is. So with a compounding period of 4, the annual rate is 5.09. What if the credit card's compounding period was monthly? We can scroll back down to our CY and enter 12, scroll back up, hit compute again, and we get 5.12. What about daily? For daily, we'll use 365. So we'll scroll down to the C divided by Y, 365, enter, scroll back up, compute, and it's 5.13. So, if it's compounded quarterly, the APY is 5.09. If it is compounded monthly, 5.12, and daily, 5.13. Trick question. What if it was compounded annually? Well, if it was compounded annually, we would go down to the C-Y1, enter, scroll back up, compute, and oh my goodness, the effective rate is the same as our nominal rate. This is because the effective rate is simply the annualized output taking into account the compounding frequency of the APR. or the nominal rate. What is interesting and that you'll find of note is that no matter how many periods you stretch it out, it has an exponential decay function for the compounding frequency. Look at annual, quarterly, monthly, and even daily. The amount of difference, no matter how much we stretch out, the compounding frequency gets smaller and smaller. This is because there is a diminishing effect from our base year of annually. So if we look at the amount of change, the earlier on will have a greater effect than later on. There comes to a point where the effect is so small that the amount of periods you stretch it out to won't have as significant of an effect as the earlier periods. So if we were to go to C-Y and enter in 1,000, a compounding period of 1,000, our effective rate would not change that much, or in this case, really at all. Again, this is Blaine Pearson, and in this video, we covered the differences between APR and APY and how to calculate APR and APY using our time value of money calculator. Thank you for watching.